For 27 years, Melinda Gates stood beside one of the richest men in the world. To the outside observer, she was the picture of poise and partnership. She smiled in countless photos, co-managed one of the most powerful foundations in human history, and raised 3 children in a life of unimaginable wealth. But in 2021, she walked away from it all. The divorce shocked the world, not just because of its longevity, but because of the settlement, a staggering $76 billion. People whispered about Bill's mistakes, but for a long time, Melinda stayed quiet. Then, at 61, she finally spoke out. She revealed a meeting in 2013 that made her physically sick. She talked about lies that kept piling up, and she finally admitted the real reason she left. What she said changed everything people thought they knew about the Gates power couple. Today on Royal Time of Hollywood, we are uncovering the truth behind the split that redefined a legacy. A foundation of discipline. The early years. The woman the world knows as Melinda Gates began her journey as Melinda and French on August 15, 1964, in Dallas, Texas. Her childhood was defined by a unique blend of discipline and curiosity. Her father was an aerospace engineer who worked on the Apollo moon missions, a man of science and precision. Her mother stayed home, shaping the rhythm of the family with steady routines and warm expectations. The French family lived in a comfortable, middle-class neighborhood. With 4 children to put through college, Melinda's father was practical. He started a rental property business on the side, and it quickly became a family effort. By age 10, Melinda had a paintbrush in her hand. Her weekends weren't spent at the mall. They were spent painting walls, scrubbing floors, and learning the mechanics of home repair. By 12, she was the bookkeeper, balancing numbers for the family business that most adults would find daunting. These early years instilled in her a deep sense of independence and the belief that technology could solve problems. In 1977, her father brought home an Apple II computer. At 14, Melinda was using it to track rental records, teaching herself basic programming. In a time when very few girls touched a keyboard, she found comfort in the logic of the machine. It didn't care about her gender. It only cared about the code. The path to Microsoft, a rising star. Melinda's brilliance carried her to Ursuline Academy, where she graduated as valedictorian in 1982. She was a powerhouse in math and science, eventually landing at Duke University. In a male-dominated computer science department, she learned how to compete and how to trust her own mind. By 1987, at just 23 years old, she had earned both a BS in computer science and an MBA. She faced a crossroads, a safe, stable career at IBM or a gamble on a smaller, ambitious company in Seattle called Microsoft. Taking the advice of a hiring manager who saw her potential for growth, she chose Microsoft. It was a decision that would change the trajectory of her life forever. She arrived in Redmond as a product manager, quickly making her mark on multimedia products. She led the teams behind Cinemania and Encarta, the digital encyclopedia that would eventually change how students did homework around the globe. By her late 20s, she was a general manager overseeing 1,700 people and shaping the software used in millions of homes. She earned her promotions through technical skill and a calm, collaborative leadership style that stood in stark contrast to the loud, aggressive culture typical of Microsoft at the time. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to check out the other stories and shocking updates on our channel. We've covered many incredible celebrity journeys, tragic endings, and untold Hollywood secrets that you don't want to miss. Binge watch our previous videos to discover more surprising facts, emotional stories, and where your favorite stars are today. Your support helps us bring you more powerful content like this, so don't forget to explore, watch more, and stay tuned for the next video. The hidden romance and a high-stakes marriage. In 1987, Melinda met the company's CEO, Bill Gates, at a casual dinner in New York. They began dating quietly, navigating workplace rules and the massive power imbalance. Their partnership was as intellectual as it was personal. On January 1st, 1994, they married in a private ceremony in Hawaii. Even then, Melinda's independence was clear. she negotiated a strong prenuptial agreement that ensured she would be an equal partner in their future endeavors. However, as the marriage progressed, the pressure of being the wife of the world's most famous tech titan began to weigh on her. By 1996, pregnant with their first child, Melinda made the difficult choice to leave Microsoft. She didn't want to be a corporate wife forever. She wanted to raise her children and find a new way to contribute to the world. This transition marked the beginning of her shift toward philanthropy, but it also marked the start of a period where she felt she was losing her own identity in Bill's massive shadow. The birth of a philanthropic empire. What began as small family efforts eventually merged into the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in 1999. With an initial endowment of $17 billion, later bolstered by tens of billions more from Warren Buffett, the foundation became a global force. Melinda wasn't just a figurehead. She traveled the world, visiting clinics in Zambia and villages in Tanzania. Seeing the reality of preventable diseases like malaria and polio changed her. She insisted that global health and women's empowerment be the heart of their mission. Under her guidance, the foundation's impact was staggering. Between 2000 and 2015, they helped vaccinate over 100 million children. Polio, once a terrifying scourge, was nearly eradicated in Pakistan and India thanks to their funding. Melinda also pushed for reproductive health access, providing contraception to millions of women in Africa and Asia, which researchers estimate prevented over 100,000 maternal deaths. The cracks in the foundation. While the world saw the Gateses as the ultimate power couple saving the world, the reality inside their home was far more turbulent. Melinda later admitted that she spent a decade shrinking herself to fit into the life Bill had built. The first public cracks appeared in 2017 when allegations of sexual harassment surfaced against Bill's money manager. Melinda demanded an independent investigation, refusing to let the matter be swept under the rug. Then came the revelation that Bill had been involved in an affair with a Microsoft employee back in 2000, an investigation that eventually led to his departure from the Microsoft board. But for Melinda, the final straw was a man named Jeffrey Epstein. In 2013, Melinda accompanied Bill to a meeting at Epstein's New York townhouse. She described the experience as haunting. She said Epstein was evil personified and told Bill in no uncertain terms that she did not want him associated with the convicted sex offender. When she discovered that Bill had continued to meet with Epstein despite her warnings, her trust was shattered. She later confessed that the association with an abuser was something she simply could not accept. The $76 billion departure. By late 2019, the emotional toll had become unbearable. Melinda began consulting with divorce attorneys, dealing with nightmares and panic attacks. The world only found out in May 2021 when the couple announced their separation after 27 years. The divorce was finalized in August 2021, resulting in a settlement of approximately $76 billion. But for Melinda, the money was a means to an end. She immediately pledged $1 billion to women's health and empowerment through her own firm, Pivotal Ventures. At 61, Melinda Gates is no longer the wife of. She is an independent force. She has spoken candidly about the pain of Bill's infidelities and the broken nature of their partnership. She admitted that she stayed as long as she could for the children and the foundation, but eventually, her own values demanded that she leave. A legacy reclaimed. Today, Melinda French Gates is redefining what it means to lead. She has reclaimed her name and her voice. She continues to mentor women in tech, fund mental health initiatives, and push for paid family leave in the United States. She is proof that it is never too late to start over, even when the whole world is watching. Her journey from a young girl painting rental apartments in Dallas to a global leader who stood up for her own boundaries is an inspiration. She showed that true wealth isn't about the balance in a bank account. It's about the courage to walk away when your integrity is at stake. At Royal Time of Hollywood, the story of Melinda Gates stands as a powerful example of true self-actualization. From her early days at Microsoft to becoming a global icon for women's rights, she has shown the world that intelligence and compassion can go hand in hand. Now, at 61, people aren't just watching her personal life. They're watching what inspiring move she'll make next. What was the most surprising part of Melinda's confession? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the world's most fascinating figures, don't forget to like, subscribe to Royal Time of Hollywood, and hit the bell icon